Hi, Dr. Drew. This is Emily calling from Michigan. I recently quit drinking 2 years ago because I got a DUI, baby. So I'm still on probation. I am testing randomly to making sure I'm not drinking.
Hi, I'm Dr. Drew, and this is Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children.
All right, everybody, welcome to Dr. After Dark. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate the emails. We appreciate the voice messages. The emails, of course, at drafterdark@gmail.com. And the voice messages, 818-253-1693. And I'm going to dedicate myself to you guys and your voice messages and emails today because, Nadav, Booth Boys, we have a sick amount of information, or amount of questions here, yes?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Nadav, I mean, Annie, there it is. I did it. I called you Nadav instead of Annie. Annie, anything's good with you?
Oh, yeah, everything's chill with me, fam. How are you?
Good. But
hell yeah.
I was very disturbed. Several weeks ago, you said that I call you Nadav, frequently, not infrequently, and I thought, wow, I have no awareness, and I just almost did it. So there you go.
You did it last episode too.
I did.
You sure did.
You do
Chief.
it all the time.
You do it all the time.
Holy shit, that's just
wild,
so
right?
weird. It's wild. Please bring it to my attention when I do it, so I can.
Sure?
Release. Oh yeah.
Well, because half the time I also don't know if you're actually trying to talk to me or if you're actually talking to any. Because there's just jumbles.
There are jumbles.
Yeah.
I understand that. That makes sense to me. But I'm usually, when I say Nadav, I usually mean Nadav.
You know what else you do that probably people have tried to tell you that now I'm going to tell you and I don't know? You say rational recovery. You say that all the time. You know,
as opposed to rational revolution.
You
No, I know
rational
that I'm
all the
aware
time.
of.
And then you say fucking, drdrew.com/store instead of /shop.
Well, that I don't, because I can never remember what that.
Yeah. You say,
get him. What else, Annie? Get him.
Rational revolution. I'm putting it in large words, of course.
Touching my camera through the fence, you faggot.
Ooh, I forgot you dropped the F-bomb at the end of that. It's interesting how I'd block that out.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Actually, maybe.
Ta-ta there, retard.
Oh, it's so funny that there was so much to remember about Sven Smoker. I forgot that he used the R word and the F word freely like that.
Yeah,
but it doesn't surprise me.
Never stopped using it. Until the day he died.
Uses a lot of words.
Yeah, I know he does, but I don't remember those words being tossed around.
Yeah,
so
there's a whole lane of videos where he uses specific words where it's, we try not to show those.
Oh my God, ta-ta now. But I like the fact that we all collectively at your mom's house just sort of we edit that piece out, and we just go to touch my camera through the fence.
I wouldn't say we edited it out.
No, not us. Not you guys.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying the world sort of does.
Oh.
The world sort of does.
It's coming back. It's cyclical, right?
So why do you think Touch My Camera Through the Fence has had such a renaissance?
It's just because I think what happens is, it's you revisit like a video from back in the day, and you remember, you're like, oh shit, you could use that, you could apply it towards this thing, and all it takes is one person, hey, touch my Spotify through the fence, and then once you hear that, you're like, ooh, did it just evolve? Is this
evolve.
A whole new lane that we could play with?
They are playing with it. I've been getting a lot of it wherever I exist. A lot of Touch My Camera Through the Fence on I do sort of streaming shows on many days. You can see them over at drdrew.tv, and the chat stream, it's every chat stream, Touch My Camera Through the Fence. And it sort of surprises me. And doesn't it feel doesn't it feel weirdly like when people use that, they're referencing genitalia somehow? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like touch my private parts through the fence or something.
Because of the word that follows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird how your brain does that. He is a psychotic meth addict who's really talking about his camera.
No, I mean but think about why he said that though.
Why did he say it? I don't remember.
Because he said, hey, you're touching my camera through the fence there.
I mean, I have the source video here ready to go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. It's time.
Please
It's
watch.
time. It's time to revisit. I love revisiting the classics. I really do, guys. So thank you. I do.
Well, I'm on record for a moment. What is this place, anyways? What is this place?
You don't need to film me.
Oh,
That poor
I made
guy.
a documentary. Listen here.
I don't care. I don't want to be
This
filmed.
is America, you dumb son of a bitch, okay?
You dumb son of a bitch. I'm a private person, and I don't
I'm
want
surprised that one
fucking
never took off.
America,
Yeah.
you
This
is
stupid
America,
fuck.
you
I can
dumb
ask
son of a
anything
bitch.
I'm a
I
private
want.
person. I'm a private person.
I can tell you no
You're
anytime
getting
I
a
want.
fucking baby raper on your face, okay,
Here it
Colin
comes.
Baby
Sucker?
raper. You're the one who looks like a baby raper.
Baby raper.
Would you
Chomo.
escape from jail?
What's up there, Chomo? Listen here. What do you guys? How do you get a job here, there, fuckface?
Well, not by talking like that.
Oh, you know what? You're fired, bud.
No,
okay?
I'm not.
I
You're
love
talking
it.
to
Grit your
me.
teeth
I'm
a
a
little more,
fucking
tough guy.
American,
Grit
you
your tough-
fuck.
tough guy.
You're the one
Grit your
touching my
teeth.
camera through the
Grit your
fence,
teeth,
you
tough guy. Come on,
faggot.
grit your teeth.
I'm gonna talk to the sheriff's department about you, buddy. Okay?
Go get him. Go get him.
Go get
You
him,
know what?
baby.
You're fired. Okay? You didn't follow proto. How do you get a
Follow
job?
Frodo.
You know what protocol is?
Yeah, I take cops' badges all the time doing it. You know who you're talking to? A retired double agent there, you fucking
Talking to a
retard.
man who's
Retired double
Okay.
agent.
off from the insane asylum, buddy.
You just lost your life, okay, as far as your job
You
goes.
threatening my life?
No, I told you
You
job.
threatening my fucking life?
Job, bitch.
What's he
That's
got in
not
his
what you
hand?
said, asshole.
Well, we're changing it
Looks
to
like a
job
gate
because you're
clicker.
taking it
Oh,
out
is
of
that it,
context there. What's your
Or a
name,
phone.
anyways?
Keep
See,
going.
see these wire?
You only not
Well,
put on
you
clean
just,
clothes.
you just
Come on.
got your job there, buddy. It's baby raper on your face clothes, okay? Ta-ta there, retard. You
is
didn't follow proto, buddy. You're done.
I never noticed he said, fuck baby raper on your face clothes.
Yeah.
He couldn't
Does he
even
mean the
finish
mustache?
sentence.
Is that what he's taking aim at?
Well, no, because he always is hunting for chomos and baby.
No, I get that.
owners.
Stamps on him.
Yeah.
So weird. And look at the beautiful environment he's in there. Where is he? He's out in the fucking Wyoming or something.
I think it might be outside of a FedEx facility.
It's so crazy. And why that guy spent 2 seconds with it? He finally got wise, just walked away. That's all you can do with
It
people like
did take him a
Fetsmoker.
little too long to
It
realize,
did.
like, oh, this is why am I interacting with this?
Well, I
person?
guess he has to. I don't. Maybe he has some proto to follow.
Yeah, I mean, that is his job,
Where
right?
he has to make sure the guy's not armed or coming in or breaking in or something. I guess that's part of the deal. Oh, we'll miss Fetsmoker. It's so sad.
But see what I'm saying, though? How
Okay.
like, do you see why he said that? He said because the guy was like, "You're the one who looks like a baby raper," and he's like, "You're the one touching my camera through the fence."
Yeah, I know. I got it. I got it.
Yeah.
Because
So that's why I think it is.
Yeah.
He compared it. In a
well,
way.
he's psychotic, and so any touching is like extremely disturbing to him. And I could see where he kind of generalizes that way. But it also makes me upset about something. Which again, this is my upset day. This is my
Dr.
upset.
Drew is mad
Doc-
today.
Dr. Drew's
Drew's
upset
getting
too.
upset.
And by the way, I wrote down all the additional all the rational revolution confusions I get. I get rational revolution, rational renaissance, and rational recovery.
Yeah, you have called it
Yeah.
Rational Renaissance.
Yeah, and rational recovery is because there's a 12-step program, essentially, a mutual aid society called Rational Recovery I've used for years and years and years, and so that's in my head. Rational renaissance is something my son said he wanted to create, and I said, go forth, and then rational evolution was Christina's thing.
Yeah, you always just say it so confidently, and I'm like, nah, he must just be ahead of me on something.
No,
you
I'm
know?
not. I'm just screwing up. My brain is getting old, and it's transposing things. If I'm not paying attention to it, if I'm not watching it, it gets the better of me. But
Well, I will remind you each time.
thank you. I love that. I actually like that because my attentional mechanisms need to be honed. The rational revolution and Fetsmoker. Oh, so another thing that upsets me is, of course, the homeless thing. People have heard me talk about that. I'm not going to get into that, but I'm here to tell you, as Fetsmoker died of his meth addiction, we are going to see a rash of meth deaths. They take a long time to develop, but in about a year, there'll be roughly 50 a day on the streets of Los Angeles. There
You think
will be.
so? Why?
Oh, yeah. Because the meth is that's all there is out there now. Just people are literally like walking around like Fetsmoker or worse, flailing their limbs walking down the middle of the street. It's getting really, really bad. That's all meth. And as you see, it ends in demise. Delayed ejaculation. Good day, doctor. I'm a guy in my 50s, wondering about taking extra time to produce my jizz while banging my girlfriend. Our sex life is out of this world, intense. We're having a great time. She loves to give head. God bless her. We get into tons of foreplay. Our sessions go for a long time. No complaints.
Did he say God bless her, or did you say God bless her?
God bless her. He said,
Oh,
he's got it
okay.
written here. It takes me longer to nut with her than ever before in my life. I do have good control in general. When it blows, it's intense. I assume this is since the sex is incredible. I would bust quicker, but it's quite the opposite. Is this because of extra foreplay and added intensity? It may be, future Canadian geezer porn star, as you refer to yourself. It may be, it's kind of a hard thing to exactly nail down. So as we get older, we reduce our libido, we reduce our erectile function. In your 60s, everybody gets that. That's why access to PDE5 inhibitors is not a bad idea. These are things that you should talk to your doctor about, that these are things that help men in their 60s particularly. And that's why testosterone replacement, in my mind, is something that I'm not closed off to. It's something that sometimes helps some men in certain situations as you age. But the fact that it takes you longer is normal for your age. The fact that you would think it would be quicker, probably as you're suggesting, has something to do with the intensity of the stimulation. That it's sort of, if you there's a way that if you stimulate somebody too much, they go the other way. They don't go towards orgasm, they go away. And again, as we age, that kind of stuff happens quite a bit. Jaw locking. I saw the episode where the girl had the issues with her jaw and would lock it. I want to share something, a solution. I have this issue of jaw cracking and sometimes locking when yawning, and it would not stop. I had the issue for a couple of years, would not go away. One night I had ecstasy with my friend, and one of the side effects is that you really want to clench your jaw, right? This time I gave in. It was pulverizing gum. Next morning, my jaw muscles were a bit stiff, but the best part was that after that night, my jaw has never locked or crunched.
What?
Well,
so she's saying just do a shit ton of jaw clenching drugs and that'll cure your TMJ.
Okay, here's the deal. What she's finding is that when she has built up the muscle, the temporalis muscle here, through chewing on a gum intensively, her laxity in her jaw has diminished, right? When the tone goes up, the jaw goes into position there, right? For some people, that's true. For others, doing what you're suggesting will make it worse. Please don't listen to just somebody who's had an anecdotal experience. Go see a jaw specialist if you're having that problem. Low libido after conception. Booth Boys, hope you're doing well. My wife and I recently got pregnant after a couple months of trying. And at the time of writing this, she is 7 weeks pregnant. I've noticed that both our libidos have gone down out the window. Previously, before conception, I would bust thick ropes like Tom at least 3 to 4 times a week. I would be busting thick ropes like Tom, yes. Now we've had sex once in getting pregnant. I'm happy we're both in sync, but I'm just wondering why neither of us get horny anymore. Keep them high and tight. How do you get a job here? Fuckface. Well, good for remembering that. Good for you. This is from the UK. I love the fact that...
How do you get a job here, there, fuckface?
Beautiful. I'm so glad we have that on hand. So here's the deal. Have you ever heard of sympathetic pregnancy? Which is that men will literally gain weight and start to nest when their wife is pregnant. We don't fully know why that happens, but it is adaptive. And you know how when two people both have high sex drive, they kind of turn each other on? When somebody has low, it can kind of, shut you down as well. And of course, there's all the psychological processes that go along with this. She's probably vomiting. Her sex drive goes down during the first 2 months of pregnancy for sure. And you start getting essentially sympathetic pregnancy, that's called. And so that's it. Don't be surprised if you gain a few pounds too, which also happens weirdly around pregnancy. Ooh, now I've not read a lot of these, so I'm just looking at the headline.
Sure.
Hot pussy, cold heart.
Hell yeah.
Hi, Daddy.
My
Kings
favorite.
above 18. Mm-hmm. 27-year-old female diagnosed with PCOS at 11. Overall, haven't had problems. Lately, I've been having bumps on the outside of my dump load area. Oh, my God. It's hard to understand you guys sometimes.
Wait, can you start that from the top?
I know. PCOS, polycystic ovarian disease, age 11. No problems. Lately, having bumps on the outside of my dump load area.
Oh, her butt. She's saying her anus.
I guess.
Is getting bumps.
Also, little hard bumps on the inside. Believe we call those hemorrhoids. I sit all day due to work. It only hurts if I agitate it. Other than typically causing no pain, haven't had a hot load dump in my baby box for over a year.
No one has finished inside for a minute.
Okay.
I'm just trying to translate.
I
yeah.
appreciate it. I need it. But I do bathe nightly with salts and bombs. Wondering if that's an issue. Thanks so much. Please somebody beat me. Let me eat your booty. Don't call me daddy. Thank you. Hot pussy, cold heart. The hot baths are probably the right thing to do. This is probably hemorrhoids, but somebody unfortunately needs to look at it to make a diagnosis. There can be fissures. There can be fistulas. There can be other things that can also be a problem. They're treated a little differently. There you go. It has nothing to do with your PCOS, except that PCOS is sometimes associated with weight excess. And if you're overweight, that increases the risk of hemorrhoids and that kind of stuff. So good times. Let's get some voice messages in here. Let's do it.
Hey, Dr. Drew. This is Barry from Milwaukee, and I was just wondering, how dangerous is like lean, like legitimately. Piss on me, beat me. You bet I'm coming up in May.
Okay, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Promethazine.
What is it?
Promethazine.
Promethazine is what they call lean.
The scissor, yeah.
Well, the problem with
That purple.
the scissor. The promethazine is
Double
not
cup.
that big a deal in itself. It's more sedating. It can be associated rarely with various kinds of movement disorders. You can both get a torticollis or what's called an oculogyric crisis, where your neck goes and your eyes go up and you can't bring them back. That is treatable, and it usually goes away when the medicine wears off. If people don't normally use promethazine chronically, but if you did, I can conceive that you might get tardive dyskinesia. I don't know if that's been reported. Can you look that up for me? Tardive dyskinesia from promethazine. Let's just see if it's been reported, which is a nasty movement disorder of the mouth and lips and sometimes limbs. You see ads for it right these days for Austedo, medication-induced tardive dyskinesia, propranolol. Well, okay, click on what medicines cause tardive dyskinesia. Prochlorperazine, perfenazine, all the zines.
It all rhymes.
Yeah, all the zines are kind of related
Does that mean
way.
that these are different colored drinks?
Got to take the zine for the lean.
Okay.
Yeah. It does not specifically say promethazine on this list, but you see all the zines are on there. That's what made me think of that. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, here's the problem with the scissor. With it, it always has codeine.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, I mean,
the
it's the
scissor.
It's the you like that? I know that, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you. Is that there's codeine? That's what people are going for. It's not the promethazine so much as the codeine, and that is an opiate, and that is dangerous. And I don't know this, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of it's tainted with fentanyl, because that's a cheaper, higher way to go with all opiates and what's in everything these days. So I'm guessing it's probably in the scissor as well. So.
Yo, why the fuck is this fentanyl shit in everything now? Like everything
Because
is
it's
like,
super
it's bad coke, it's fentanyl.
It's in normal medicine too?
Yeah, what the fuck?
No. Street medicine. It's in everything. It's in Xanax. It's in everything.
Street Xanax.
It's street Xanax. Yeah, no, it's not in anything.
But why? Like, what made it
because
so?
Because it is so cheap, so easily transportable in tiny quantities, can be used and gets people super high, and in just above tiny quantities kills people. So it's very, very dangerous, but a tiny amount makes people super high, and that's what they're going for. And now some of the heroin addicts are starting to prefer fentanyl, the fentanyl high over heroin.
What type of high is it supposed to give you?
You have to be an opiate addict to really get the high that these. For instance, Nadav and I, our genetic heritage makes us a little less likely to have a good experience from opiates. Like certain genetic heritages, you take opiates and you feel actually bad, and that's me. I feel nothing to.
me.
Oh, you feel good? Okay, so you get high from them. Okay.
Well, yeah, those when I was hospitalized, I had Dilaudid, and I was like, "This is cool."
Okay, so I've never had an opiate. I've had lots of different ones, but none of them have ever made me feel anything except shitty, and that's a different biology. While people who have the tendency towards alcoholism, which is the primary genetic background, when they get exposed to an opiate, they feel better than they've ever felt in their whole life. This is like euphoria. This is like unbelievable. And if you've had trauma, it also distances you from that pain that you've been carrying around and may not be aware of, and it's just on after that. So that's it. It's something that not everyone experiences, but if you are one of those people that does, it's hard to stop. It's hard to stay away from it. Get it? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Is that Nadav? And I didn't mean Nadav, not any. Is that Nadav? Are you in that category?
Of someone that...
You know what's interesting about
Likes
Ashkenazi
opiates.
Jews is they can get opiate and stimulant addiction without alcoholism. Do you have any momentum with alcohol?
No.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
that's like the-
super chill with no booze.
Yeah, see, that's like the only time you see that is in that population.
In Jays?
In Ashkenazi Jays. And not all of them, but you can occasionally, because otherwise it is alcoholism is the sort of heritage of people that develop addictions of all type these days, because that's been the most addictive drug that's been around. I mean, that's
true. Jays do love pills.
Some of them do. It's not all, but it's some. They really do. Okay, another voice message.
Hey, you big-titted animal.
Yeah.
My name's Ben. I'm a 21-year-old guy, and I just have a question about my nose. So ever since I can remember, whenever my nose gets like super stuffy with a cold or something, and I go to blow my nose will occasionally make a sound. So like, it sounds like almost like a brass instrument, like a trumpet or like a creaking door or something. For like 5 seconds or so. Am I talked, or do I just have too much cum in my balls? Piss on me, beat me, and do you ever worry that you're retarded and nobody's telling you?
I do. Thank you for that. I do. I often worry about that. And please, I rely on the booth boys to tell me now. They've agreed to.
No, you're not.
Thank you.
No, you're good.
When I get there, you'll let me know.
I will.
But what he's talking about is after he blows his nose, right? After you blow your nose, sometimes you can hear a high-pitched little squeal or a creaking. And that is you've got some cavities up in your head, and you've got some ostia, these openings amongst them between the cavity, and they can open and close and snap and pop, and things can go on inside these cavities that make a little bit of noise. The most common noise is a little bit of creaky, squealy kind of noise, and it just means, it means you've got some stuff in there, right? And so you may want to get your sinuses checked to make sure that they're not filling with stuff all the time, and you don't have some sort of chronic sinusitis. Another one. These are good voice messages today. Yeah, right on.
Hey, Dr. Drew. This is Colby. Essentially, I'm calling because after 100 years of staring at my husband's dick, it leans to one side, and I saw him jerking off the other day, and the action brings his dick to one side, and that just happens to be the side that his dick leans to. Does his dick lean that way because he's jerking off all the time? Butthole. Thanks, guys. Bye.
What a question, Colby.
Colby is my favorite. I would love to talk to her some more. Really, someday we got to get a hold of some of these real prize-winning questions. And I love how the female mind works. They just like chew on stuff. Like, what is that? Is he bending his dick? Is that? And I like that it's been 100 years of dick watching.
Ooh, and can I answer with the answer that I think you're going to give?
Go ahead.
Sometimes a cigar is just a good smoke.
No, it's not what I'm going to give. There is something called acquired Peyronie's. Look up acquired Peyronie's, which is often caused by things like, jacking off to one side. And it's usually not a big deal. It's not really even meeting the criteria of, let's see, acquired Peyronie's. We want to see a picture of acquired Peyronie's. Yeah.
I mean, that would just look the same as normal Peyronie's.
Yeah, see, that cactus in the upper right-hand corner is about it.
Oh, we could show this.
Yeah. These are all, yeah. So, yeah, correct. Acquired Peyronie's. There's two kinds of Peyronie's. There's spontaneous, there's congenital, there's acquired. And acquired Peyronie's usually doesn't cause significant problem. It is caused by scarring on one side of the penis that pulls it over that direction. And, most penises, as Nadav is pointing out, is just a good smoke. They move around. They have different curves and sort of qualities to them. But I don't think we'd actually have to ask a urologist to know for sure. But I've certainly been asked this question a million times, and most of the time people are not having functional problems. So unless it's causing pain to you or painful erection or difficulty with erection for him, it's something to kind of keep an eye on and maybe even urge him to kind of switch hit a little bit so he doesn't keep damaging that side. But yes, Miss Colby the scientist, the explorer, Colby the explorer. Colby the explorer, you are on to something here. It's called acquired Peyronie's disease.
So, see, like to me, the first thing that comes to my head is this like a chicken or the egg type of thing?
Correct. It can be.
Was he born with the Peyronie's and then that's just the way he does it, so it's comfortable?
Or maybe it's coincidence, but no, there is some theory that my understanding is that you can cause a little Peyronie's type reaction. I mean, it really isn't even typical Peyronie's unless you're having symptoms, I would say. It's like when is a mental health issue a real issue? It's when it has trouble functioning, when there's a functional problem. More voicemail. I'm enjoying these. Let's do some more.
Hey, Hitlers. I have a question about smoking weed and why does it turn your eyes red? So I usually smoke weed only before bedtime so that I can sleep a little bit better. But when I wake up in the morning, my eyes are still red.
Oh.
And I have to put eye drops in them all day without looking high at work. So why do my eyes stay red for so long even if I haven't smoked weed? Would love if you can answer this question for me, so hopefully I can stop dumping eye drops into my eyeballs every day. better believe I'm coming up in May.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Drew. Bye.
So weed causes vasodilatation in certain parts of the body, and eyes being one of them. It usually is transient, and so the fact that you have it all the time, this is actually a significant problem. It suggests something else is going on, and not only is something else going on, but you're doing exactly the wrong thing, which is regular eye drops. I just talked to somebody the other day who developed blindness from excessive use of over-the-counter eye drops. Please immediately stop. Use only moisturizing eye drops like TheraTears, things like that, and get to an ophthalmologist immediately. You probably just have a plain old dry eye syndrome. I suspect that's it.
Right. You have something similar too, right, Drew?
I do have something very similar. Mine has actually been better in recent months, but I had a radial keratotomy, which left me with a dry eye syndrome, which was just awful for about 3 years. But you can use a medication called Lumify for the redness. You just can't use it all day. So Lumify is okay. The usual over-the-counter stuff that you're using with all the vasoconstrictors will damage your cornea. And as I said, if I talked to somebody who'd even somehow damage the retina on top of that. So she had total blindness from excessive use of over-the-counter medication. So it's not the weed, because it shouldn't be red all day from that. B, the red all day may be, much like you can get rhinitis medicamentosa. Do you know what that is, gentlemen?
I do not.
So if you use Afrin all day long, your nose will be congested all the time. So you use it more than a couple of days, and your body responds by trying to compensate for what you're doing to it. And there might be some, maybe, conjunctivitis medicamentosa or something. See if that exists. Conjunctivitis medicamentosa. Conjunctivitis. Sure it must. Medicamentosa. Yeah. Huh? No.
Boy, that's tough to spell, but I got it.
There it is. Conjunctivitis medicamentosa. Dermatoconjunctivitis. A condition in which drug applied to the eye as drops or ointment or some other substance reaches the eye surface, causing redness. Yeah. So there you go. So it's much like rhinitis medicamentosa. This is conjunctivitis medicamentosa. Dude, why don't people go get their proper medical care? Would you have known to do that, either of you guys?
No, I just would have been like, I'm just going to open my eyes more while I shower. That's how I get liquid in there.
Well, that's fine, actually. That's not a bad way. That's not a bad way. As compared to what she's doing, that's better. Whew.
I would just assume, I guess my eyes are just like this now.
Right, you wouldn't do anything.
Yeah,
Right.
it is what it is. I mean,
How do,
red, so what?
Nadav, how do Annie's eyes look right now?
They look fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, baby?
Yeah, man.
What's up, baby?
Clear
Red
eye.
eye proof.
Clear eye. Okay, this one, I love these titles. My wife's head's fucked. My wife has suffered from panic attacks since about she was 5. Anytime she feels any movement on the floor, she thinks she's going through it. Even in a car, she can think the middle will fall through. How interesting. She thinks any floor that does not have support in the middle will surely collapse. I thought about exposure therapy, but she's already kind of does 24/7 because in every mall, car, or house, she's scared. She also tried anxiety medication, but she said it took the edge off. But the panic attacks, if you give me advice, that'd be great. Absolutely love the podcast. Everything at YMH. Thank you, Austin.
Oh, my God.
God bless you, Austin. You better believe I'll be coming up in May. This is more OCD than panic. It's OCD with panic, but you're right. She does need exposure therapy. But exposure therapy, that's something that has to be done in professional hands. In other words, proper exposure therapy is not just making her stand on an unstable floor and going, "Hey, honey, take it." That makes things worse. It's about an empathic, attuned person sitting with the person, exposing them to tolerable doses of what makes them obsessed and panic and that kind of stuff. So absolutely, yes. Go to the best website I know of for a disease-specific, patient-centered organization. It's called the International Obsessive Compulsive Disorder Federation, IOCDF.org. Let's bring it up, gentlemen, IOCDF.org. And you can look around there. They have lots of great resources. There it is. Learn more about OCD, find help. It's patient-centered, it's disease-specific, and man, it is good. I gave a talk for those guys once, and the whole community shows up for these symposiums they put up. It's a much more common disorder than you imagine, and it overlaps with panic very often, and anxiety. So, what?
What's the title?
I watched men cut their penises off as a child.
Oh, so he was a moil or worked for a moil?
He's saying cut their penises off. I grew up during an interesting time on the internet. I'm 22, a plumber. Interesting job now. I had a very innocent, internet-free childhood, playing outside from dusk until dawn, riding bikes, blah, blah, blah. Once I hit middle school, kids who had flip phones soon upgraded to smartphones with unlimited access. By the time I was 13, I'd seen men with jars up their ass, beheadings, fatal car crash ejections, men cutting their penises off, people committing suicide, and a lot of other cool guy-related stuff.
Yeah, there's sites for that.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, it's all part of growing up these days.
Oh, my God. I cannot be the only young adult who had countless bet you won't watch this moments in middle school and high school, wondering what the long-term ramifications may be for our generation other than being a lifelong YMH fan. Touch my camera through the fence. We don't know. It's much like we don't know. You were probably also exposed to porn by the age of 9 or 10, and we really don't know the implications of this. We just don't know. We don't know if it's going to give you panic disorders or make you desensitized to human suffering or more sensitive. We don't know. We have no idea. What do you guys, since you're sort of more from that generation, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I remember I grew up when the internet was kind of just starting to be like in every household. And like, yeah, in college, I think that's when the beheading videos started coming out. And like, yeah, you'll be quiet for a few days, but then you kind of learn, you start developing a spidey sense where you're like, oh, something's going to happen. Oh, something bad's about to happen. And you just kind of X out of it. But it's, yeah, stop running towards those videos. Run away from those videos.
That's good advice.
If you feel like something
but
bad's going to happen, get out of there.
Do you feel like it affected you badly or did anything to you? Or
just that, like, you know, my threshold for terrible things is just a little higher than normal. But I mean, but that's also, you know, in prepping all these heavy segments for the lives, that's kind of like come back now, you know, where it's harder and harder to upset me.
Is there going to be another live show soon?
We're hoping, I mean, hopefully some point in the summer, something like that, just with touring and everything. It's getting a little nuts.
As I told you, we had an exceptional experience last time. Exceptional.
Yeah.
Too many good emails. Let me go. I'm uncircumcised, and when my foreskin is pulled back, the frenulum causes the head of the penis to be pulled down. Oh, interesting. So what he's saying is he pulls back the foreskin and the head curves down, right? I recently discovered cock rings. They've improved my performance. The issue is the frenulum becomes irritated, or I can sometimes feel like it has paper cut after sex.
Oh.
Yeah, that happens. My question is whether this can be fixed surgically or is better off being left alone. Ooh, interesting question. The problem,
cuts?
yeah, they tear. It tears. And so the problem is that if it starts tearing, it'll start scarring down. So, yeah, I would see a urologist about that. It can get kind of unpleasant. I think what they would advise you to do is you get circumcised. I think that's probably all they would do. So I think it may be time, my friend. Maybe time.
What's it like getting circumcised, like when you're an adult?
It's a much bigger deal than as a child. It's 2 weeks of it's like a weekend of on your back with ice packs on, and then 2 weeks of out of commission, and God forbid you get an erection.
But they put you under when it happens.
Yeah. It's just that there's a lot more tissue damage.
If you get an erection while you're recovering and like you're not all healed up, then everything re-tears.
You can tear stuff apart. It usually doesn't necessarily do that because the pain sort of de-escalates the erection. You know what I'm saying? So I've not seen that happen. Too much pre-cum in these balls. Okay, don't call me daddy. Don't call me daddy. Don't call me daddy. When sex is at all on my mind, I produce quite a lot of pre-cum. A quick hug, a flirty text. Even when I'm at work, just simply thinking about sex in passing will cause healthy trickle. It has only started happening within the last 5 years. So I make white on a regular basis with my wife, so there doesn't seem to be any correlation between the amount of time since my last ejaculation and how much it leaks. Dr. Drew, do I have too much pre-cum in my balls? Also on lisinopril, pravastatin, once-a-day vitamin. I don't think the lisinopril, which is called an ACE inhibitor, or the pravastatin, which is a statin, would do anything to the urethra. It's a good, healthy prostate, my friend. That is what your prostate's supposed to do. It's supposed to produce lubricant for the ejaculate to come down, and also a lot of immune active fluids and stuff heading down is pushing anything potentially infectious out. So it's just a healthy prostate. That's all. I wouldn't worry about it at all. But definitely do get your PSA done. Sounds like you're in that age group when the PSA needs to be done every year. And your balls don't have pre-cum or cum in them. Okay? Hi, Hitler, longtime fan. Been dealing with nasty Bartholin cyst. Okay, hold on. I need a little liquid to get me going here.
Bartholin cyst?
Yes, that's why I knew you'd like this. Let's look up a Bartholin cyst. You're going to like this.
Oh, that tells me that I'm probably not going to like it.
No, Annie may not like it. You will.
All right.
Here we go.
Comes images.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, okay. A pussy cyst.
It's a pussy. It's a pussy boil. Then the bottom, second from the right. Second from the right at the bottom. Not from the left, from the right. Now we lost it. But now we lost it. Those aren't good ones. Go back. Go down one. There you go. That one. There it is. You see, that is a Bartholin's duct or gland cyst. So women have, guess what, glands down there that create lubrication. Lots of different kinds. They have Skene's glands, Bartholin's glands, but the Bartholins are sort of the most active, and they can get clogged and get cyst and become abscessed. It can be really a mess. Your gynecologist can handle it. These are very, very common. But let's see what what Sam is saying here.
Quick question.
Yes.
Could that thing be sensitive?
It can be painful.
Oh, okay.
It can be painful, and you could come upon one, and someone
wait, hold on. What was going to be your next question if you said yes, it could get sensitive?
I didn't have any further questions after that.
He just wants to know what to do if he comes upon it.
He's like, should I tickle it? Should I
try to break it?
I just want to know what I'm supposed to do once I see it. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
It could be used.
Eddie, we love that about you. Anything can be used for good sex.
Yes,
that's right, man.
Pivoting.
Yes, sir.
Yes, buddy. Been dealing with nasty cysts, resides inside my vagina. Yeah. I've had small ones in the past. They've always gone away on their own, which does typically happen. Hot baths, that kind of thing. September, I had 2 hospital trips to have it drained. Whoosh. Horrifying, painful. Isn't a big deal now, but can be painful while me and my husband are having sex. Completely terrified of getting this inflamed once again. I don't want to go back to the hospital. Oh, shoot. The only issue I have is that this doesn't guarantee it won't come back. The procedure sounds awful. Oh, there is a procedure where they take a larger incision, and pull it all out. That's right. Do you think it might be worth having this procedure? It's affected my sex life. I hate being worried about it. Yeah, you got to get it done. I think you need some sort of definitive repair. It's like me and my diverticulitis. Eventually, you just go, all right, we have to take care of this. There is a definitive procedure. You should have the definitive procedure. What's up? Voice message.
Would a numbing cream help at all? Or
no? No.
Okay.
It's that they're nasty and they have to be treated when they come up. And she's worried about getting another one, which she will. She'll get another one, so they can do some surgical repairs on that. Go ahead.
Hi, Mommy Drew.
Hey.
Touch my camera through the fence. This is Kelly here.
I will, Kelly.
So, I wanted to know, my whole life I've experienced this randomly. But like after I take a really big poop, or if I've ever had diarrhea, sometimes, and I can't figure out what times it happens at. It seems like it's just kind of random. But when I get up after I take a poop, my butthole just hurts so bad. Like it's like on fire. And like the only thing that makes it feel any better is like I have to sit back down and like put pressure on my butthole. And that's the only thing that makes it feel any better. What's that all about? Come on down from Moose Soup. You're doing real good. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. We love you.
You just love hearing girls say the word butthole.
Because they leave the T out. Butthole. They leave the T out. It's uncanny. I don't know what that is about estrogen that makes them drop the T in butthole. But okay, so that's probably, you know how I've talked occasionally about a pubococcygeus muscle spasm? You remember that? You want to maybe show me the pelvic musculature again? There's a lot of sort of visceral musculature, for lack of a better way of saying it, around the pelvis that responds to all kinds of things. And that idea of you needing to sit back down and push down suggests that see that heavy musculature there, right? In and around the pelvic floor. That stuff is not under voluntary control so much. It's not like an arm muscle. It doesn't really move anything. It does control. We do have some voluntary control of the anal sphincter, but that stuff can spasm once in a while, and it is rather random. It is hard to figure out what's triggering it. Men get it sometimes after urinating, sometimes after ejaculating, sometimes just out of the blue. And I wouldn't be surprised if as time goes on, you started getting it just sort of spontaneously sometimes. And it is, it's unpleasant, and it passes, and that's the end of that. It's no big deal. Maybe we see some TikToks. How about that?
Now here you go.
Oh, my God.
Again. Come in. He wants some Thanksgiving dinner.
The horse going to take a shit in here, too.
No.
There it is. There it is. Of course.
Fucking called it.
Of course. Of course. Get the horse all upset and walking through a living room. It's the best. I love this guy. I like the way the wife's like, "Are you in the house again with the horse?" Like, this happens all the time. Beautiful horse, by the way. Isn't it? Look at that.
Oh, yeah, gorgeous horse.
Yeah, a nice big road apple right there in the middle of the living room. Yeah, buddy. Okay, give me more. I like it. Uh-oh. Oh, whoa. Oh, he's going down. The whole thing's going. Oh, no. That's not funny.
Oh, that's one of those dudes. That's one of those dudes that, like, that get a fucking adrenaline rush from being on top of, like, buildings and shit. And
I don't understand that
Wait,
stuff.
but he's like 5 feet high, I think.
I think it may be further down than that. It looks like it's about 30
That looks a little
feet.
far, man.
Is that high?
I think
But
so.
no, but then look over here.
I know it looks like it's not that high when you get that angle, but maybe he's screwing with us. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
I have never seen anything like this. Creative engineering.
Okay, I'm not interested. Keep going. He's like, "Oh, what the hell?"
Interested in this?
I always feel bad for women like this.
Oh, you said, "Ooh."
I really do. I always feel like, "Oh, honey, why? Why do you do that to yourself?" All to get, I guess you make a living doing it. I guess you get a OnlyFans. I get
attention.
But I guess there are really effed up pervert dudes out there who really get off on this stuff and pay you, I guess. But man, and you got to go to another country to get this. You know what I mean? You can't. American plastic surgeons will not do this. The liability is too high, and eventually that's coming out. That's coming out.
What? Oh, you mean the implants?
Yeah. That's not going to stay.
Because the body's going to reject it?
It just doesn't. It's just they're coming out someday.
Wait, but what do you mean?
Because
she gets tired of them, or because a medical reason?
Medical reasons. They start having all kinds of problems and scarring and this and that and the other thing. And ugh. Anyway, keep going. Oof, poor thing. I feel bad
Get the
for
fuck
her.
out of the neighborhood. Sell that cocksucker and get out of here.
Okay.
Because I don't want you as a goddamn neighbor.
Awesome.
You're a lousy fucking neighbor.
Tell me more.
You and that cocksucker over there.
Tell me more.
And that fucking jack off.
Tell me more. I'm going to post this, dude.
Fuck what you post. You fucking idiot.
I like the clarity with which that guy expresses himself.
This was an incredible talk.
He doesn't go over the top. You know what I mean? Most people, when they lose their shit, just start to look hysterical and weird. He's like very, very deliberate in his delivery. I like it. Is there more to it?
That's got to be our next drop.
No, that's
fucking,
it.
I don't give a fuck what you post.
Yeah,
That's such a
is
funny
he-
fucking statement.
Isn't he the guy that had a trash can problem at one time? With the
trash can.
We had something like that once. All right, keep going. More TikToks.
That's everything
What?
in that batch of TikToks.
All right, then I think I better see Asian Garage number 2. So do
think
we
you
have
should
Asian
see it.
Garage? Do you have number 1?
We do have number 1.
Okay, let's play number 1 because this was when I first came onto your mom's house as a naive person. I don't know how else to describe it, and sort of virginal in the sense that
A nice doctor.
my sensibilities hadn't been destroyed as they
You're
have
a
been
nice
lately.
Jewish boy.
Yeah, and I saw this Asian Garage video, and I thought I was seeing somebody being killed. I thought it was like a beheading video, and Tom thought it was so funny, and I was confused. So let's see it. Okay, here we go. He's driving in, and I kind of saw what was coming. I remember thinking, oh my God. Okay, so I have seen these things in the hospital, right? I've seen people get stuck between a wall and a car, and
Right, you can get crushing syndrome, you said, right?
degloving. When they get crushed, the skin just splits open, and it all comes off. And look at this guy. This is the comedy. Like,
See, you think it's funny.
I like the way he's like, "Is he hurt?" I was like, "Yeah, he's hurt."
You were like, back in the day, I used to think that this was absolutely terrible.
Well, back in the
but
day,
now
I
this
didn't
is
even notice the other guy. I was too upset watching the dude on the ground. So So I actually have a fear whenever I walk between cars that somebody's going to roll in to squish me between two bumpers or something. So parked cars freak me out a little bit already.
That sounds like that same OCD that chick had with the floors.
No,
right?
I'm not like panicky about it or anything. I just move through quickly because I've seen this.
You're hyper-vigilant about it.
I'm hyper-vigilant about it because I've seen this when people just casually walk through and somebody doesn't see them and backs up or pulls up or whatever, and you get it's a horrible injury. Now, if he was lucky, all he did was break his legs, badly. That's lucky. I'm telling you, that's lucky.
I don't know why that sentence is so funny to me.
Yeah. But I guess there's a 2.0. No, set this up for me. I don't know what to expect.
So this also happened in an Asian country.
Okay. Not these guys. Doesn't involve this little.
No, this is a different crew as far as I could tell. But here's the clip, and it's kind of like a very similar reaction, which is why we called it 2.0.
Okay. Where's the problem going to be? Oh, I see it.
You can see it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And those are like metal coils, right? Those aren't like cardboard.
I think it is cardboard, but I mean, those things must weigh.
It might be like paper, and it's just
so.
I mean, it needs a fucking forklift to pick it up. So,
and that guy drove it right into them.
Right into him, yeah.
Wow.
I guess he couldn't see over the forklift.
So why is it blurred? Is it blurred? Am I seeing that?
I don't think it is blurred.
Okay, good. Because I wanted to make sure I wasn't
that someone died.
That something horrible didn't happen. Because you could get some kind of you could have intestines spilling out and stuff. This is bad enough. Ugh. Oh, Jesus.
So it looked like it really just like tapped him.
That looked like it was his dick.
Yeah, it is his dick.
Oh, no.
Wait, what? How could you guys tell it was his dick?
And so
from here?
it's his pelvis.
Yeah.
So he got his pelvis crushed.
Oh.
And God only knows how many fractures are in there. And that is a horrible fracture. You are in bed for a long period of time, and it can't really be surgically corrected. You have to kind of like...
Huh. So you don't think this is funny, huh?
Well, it has a certain amount of humor to it, to be fair. But what scared me about it is it reminded me of that horrible video with the guy that got caught in the machine.
In the lathe.
The lathe.
Oh, yeah, that one haunts my dreams.
Yes,
still.
and that was
so fun.
That was Tom's favorite cool guy video, I think, wasn't it?
I don't think that's his favorite. The car.
It was his favorite thing to send to me.
Yeah.
What goes on in that boy's head?
He likes to make me upset sometimes.
Is it you and he just laughs at it maniacally?
Well, I don't think he just knows that I really don't like that content, and I think everyone
when people die.
Yeah. I'm one of those unique people at YMH that doesn't like seeing horrific injuries or murders or deaths.
You can count me in on that, and yet he doesn't send me. I don't think he did laugh maniacally when he showed me these things. To be fair, yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
That was his favorite thing.
Yeah.
And I found it very confusing, but he loves it.
Yeah, I'm confused by it a little bit too. But you know what? I'm just happy to see him happy.
Yeah, me too. To be fair, what?
I have a question, by the way, about your thing that you said that you have a fear of like parked cars.
Oh yeah.
So would you say anything about me having the opposite feeling towards that?
What do you mean?
Like
you like to be in there between cars?
I like the thought. Like I'm just attracted to the thought of when I go behind a car that it doesn't see me and it's gonna hit me. I like love that.
You like that?
Like not like in a sexual way. I just like.
In what kind?
I don't know. Like
so somehow
like fear. I guess
in there
Platonic.
must be why we fit together as friends. You know what I mean? It's so opposite. We are so opposite, and yet I'm intrigued by it, and I don't find it repellent or problematic. I'm just intrigued.
It's similar to that. Like if you ever been in the backseat of a car and you want to open the door and like jump out and just like you have that weird intrusive thought.
Never really had that thought.
Okay,
but again, that's why we're friends.
Right, copy that.
But is it that, or is it the high of the possibility of thinking about the extreme nature of it? You get a little rush from it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm in trouble. There's something about
it's a little bit of a high thing. This is
something
back
about
to your
getting in
personality construct thing. Yeah, this is now. Why would between two cars? Where did that first occur to you?
It not necessarily between two cars, just like a car hitting me. Like I'm like, fuck yeah, like bring it on, baby. Let's see this shit. Like when a car is headed towards me and I feel like if it's backing up and you could honk so they like see you and then they don't hit you, I never honk. I'm like, please hit me. Like I want to see.
What?
I don't know why. I want to see what happens.
Have you ever broken any bones before? Like, have you ever gotten like really hurt?
I don't know that even.
Oh, you tore your thing. You tore your the bottom of your foot when you went hiking that time. That was when you showed it to Drew.
Yeah.
Is that like the most you ever got hurt as a kid?
I don't know.
It's interesting. And where do you remember when it first? Much like the It clown coming out of the toilet, you could sort of remember where that thought first occurred to you. Do you remember where this first occurred to you?
Shit, no.
All right, well, think
Since you were a
it.
kid, though, you had this feeling.
I've always, yeah, for sure. Like I've always had that just type of like, oh man, what if like if I see if I saw a piano being hung and like in the cartoons like falls.
What if it fall? Do you like that?
Like my thought is like,
that's-
oh, what if it fell on me? That'd be fucking dope,
It fell on you.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting.
It's weird. It's obviously I don't want to like fucking die. I don't know. It's
Is it
interesting.
you want to withstand it? Like you could see if you could withstand it, kind of thing.
Maybe. I've always had some
Interesting.
sense of like invincibility. It
Oh,
could
so
be
that's
that.
interesting. So maybe it's that. Maybe it's kind of playing with that a little bit. Interesting. Yeah, I don't walk under pianos. Don't put your.
You just haven't been physically hurt enough.
I'm telling you, real danger I'm not afraid of. It's the fake danger that I'm scared of.
Yeah, it's fucking ghosts and it clown and stuff. It's really something. It's so again, that's why we're friends. This is it's truly intriguing to me. Do we have any couple voice messages just to clear my palate?
Yeah, let's find you a good one, and here it is.
Hey there, Dr. Drew.
Hey.
I had a question about my dick.
Of course.
My name's Kevin, by the way.
Hi, Kevin.
The issue really isn't that big of a problem for me. I'm just curious. But my dick, I have a slightly above average size dick when it's hard, but when it's soft, it is so fucking small. It's so very, very small.
Likewise?
That's not the issue. The issue is in the wintertime, let's say whenever it starts to get flaccid, let's say right before I take a shower, it looks like a balloon that's been twisted, like you'd see at a circus. Just one of those long balloons, and you twist it in the middle. So it's like half of my dick.
When it's getting hard. Yes.
Flaccid with the rest of it.
Yes.
I don't think it's a problem. I'm just wondering, is it going to possibly lead to a problem later?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Piss on me and beat me.
You bet. We talked about this before. Remember,
Right.
I actually drew you a picture of this.
Right.
And it's a nothing. It's just how some people's dicks proceed to fill at certain times. I like that this dude's a shower, not a grower not a shower. And really all that matters is when you need, when you're ready for battle, right? I mean, that's when you need the size. You don't need it before that. I thought he was going to say in the winter, it sort of went up inside and became like a doorbell. You know what I'm saying? Just like a little, and that can be actually uncomfortable for men sometimes. You can actually get irritation from that, but he doesn't have that. So one more.
Hi, Dr. Drew. This is Emily calling from Michigan. I just had some questions about substance abuse and, I guess, alcohol. I recently quit drinking 2 years ago because I got a DUI, baby. So I'm still on probation. I am testing randomly. They're making sure I'm not drinking. But I'm worried about after I'm off probation, if you have any advice for what I should do to keep me away from the alcohol, because I'm afraid after I'm off probation, my perspective might change.
Yeah.
So I am working a lot more and have a great relationship with my boyfriend, but I do struggle to eat as well. So if you have any advice on that, I'd appreciate it. Love you guys. Bye.
Emily, you're the best. Two things. You will go back. You will. That's the nature of alcoholism. The problem with alcoholism is not stopping, it's staying stopped. This is true of all addictions. They are progressive. And you are somebody that clearly responds to structure. So you could consider something like Antabuse or an Antabuse implant that would, again, it's a medicine you take, and if you drank on it, you would get really, really ill. The other thing is to get...
that's crazy.
Yeah, Antabuse. The other thing is get support in 12-step community, get a sponsor or get a therapist, maybe a therapist to do some cognitive behavioral therapy to keep you sort of tuned up so your thinking doesn't go bad. one of the big problems in addiction is stinking thinking. Your brain wants to go back, and so it starts telling, as you say, your point of view changes, and he starts telling you things that seem reasonable that are going to end up in trouble. So either, back to the community, get a sponsor, do some work, or therapist and maybe some cognitive behavioral therapy and or some anti-abuse. All those things would help you. Any or all of those would help you. All right, everybody, keep the emails coming at drfdark@gmail.com, and the voice messages 818-253-1693. Don't forget the bobbleheads at drdrew.com/shop.
Shop. You got it, Chief.
And also store.ymhstudios.com for all the great merchandise there.
Ooh.
Yes.
Got it all right.
We love it. Rational Revolution, everybody. I want that iconography around the world. I want everyone with that mug in their hand thinking about the Rational Revolution every morning when they have their coffee. We need to use our brains and get out of the hysteria and get back into what's rational and just kind of stay there. Allow reality to restore itself and start thinking rationally again. We'll see you next time.
All conversations and information exchanged during participation in the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.